You talk more to yourself than others, dear listener, without even realizing it. Picture this. You're running late for work, and in the midst of your rush, you pose a question to yourself. How can I make it to the office on time? Later, as you head to the gym, another query pops into your mind. Which exercise shall I choose for today? And while leisurely scrolling through YouTube, you ponder, should I click on this productive video? Eventually, you clicked and watched for a few seconds, prompted by yet another query. Should I watch this video more? However, you decided to stick around, and believe me, as you'll watch the video till the end, you will have a technique to unlock your magical power. These inner dialogues, these thoughts circulating in your brain, these inside voices are known as self-talk. Sigmund Freud was the first to propose that we have both conscious and unconscious levels of thought. This self-talk consists of conscious thoughts combined with embedded beliefs and biases, creating an internal monologue that persists throughout the day. Thus, self-talk holds great sway over your life. Maybe it is the most influential thing. Whether our self-talk takes on a positive or negative tone determines the trajectory of our lives, determines whether we embark upon a path to success or stumble through a maze of misfortune. It makes you make decisions. It increases productivity when controlled. It leads to anxiety and depression when out of control. That's why it's necessary to pay attention to this crucial aspect. Human nature, unfortunately, tends to engage in harmful and negative self-dialogue, often resorting to broad declarations such as, I can't do anything correctly, or I'm an utter failure. The issue with negative self-talk lies in its tendency to deviate from reality, thus misleading individuals into believing that they are not only inadequate, but also incapable of improvement. Consequently, this immobilizes them, trapping their thoughts within themselves and rendering them unable to take action. Individuals suffering from depression and anxiety often find themselves trapped in a cycle of destructive and dysfunctional self-talk. The internal voices they encounter become relentless, filled with unending criticism that pierces their thoughts. Consumed by this overwhelming negativity, they plunge into a dark and deep pit of distressing overthinking, launching a relentless assault upon their own being. According to the College of Cognitive Behavioral Therapies, negative self-talk can set off a treacherous cycle and self-fulfilling prophecy. Suppose someone convinces themselves that they won't succeed in a particular task. This belief undermines their motivation, causing them to invest less effort in tackling the challenge. Consequently, if they do encounter failure, they might think, see, I knew it all along. It's just what I expected. This pattern reinforces their negative perception, reinforcing the cycle of self-doubt and discouragement. In a fascinating study by Kaiser, Smeets, and Dijkerman in 2013, patients with anorexia nervosa were asked to navigate through a progressively narrowing doorway. Surprisingly, those with the disorder began adjusting their bodies when the doorway was 40% wider than their shoulders, while individuals without the diagnosis only did so when the doorway was 25% wider. The researchers concluded that negative self-talk among the anorexic participants significantly influenced their perception of body size, leading them to believe they were larger than reality. Now, let's shift our attention to a more vital aspect: positive self-talk. It, of course, serves as the antithesis of negative self-talk. However, it's crucial to clarify that positive self-talk isn't about indulging in narcissism or deluding ourselves with falsehoods. Instead, it involves extending self-compassion and cultivating a genuine understanding of our own unique journey and the experiences we've weathered. It's like creating a supportive dialogue within ourselves that acknowledges our worth and acknowledges the challenges we've overcome. A thorough review by Todd, Oliver, and Harvey in 2011 revealed that positive self-talk interventions effectively bring about cognitive and behavioral changes. When you face a challenge and fail but say to yourself, attempting to do this took courage, and I'm proud of myself for trying, you combat stress. When you say to yourself, I can't control what other people think, say, or do, I can only control myself, you build better relations with the people. When you set a goal and say to yourself, I will give it my all to make this work, success becomes your destination. Positive self-talk rewires your brain and even can increase your physiological capacities. In an astonishing experiment, a man initially capable of only 20 push-ups witnessed a remarkable transformation. Through positive affirmations and a shifted mindset, he astonishingly doubled his push-up count with the same physique and power, showcasing the incredible potential of this approach. This is supported by the study conducted by Conroy and Metzler in 2004, who explored the ways self-talk impacts cognitive anxiety in sports performance. They looked at state-specific self-talk, so the way athletes spoke to themselves while failing, while succeeding, while wishing for success, and while fearing failure. They measured these alongside expressions of situation-specific trait performance anxiety, fear of failure, fear of success, and sport anxiety. They found the strongest results for self-talk associated with fear of failure and sports anxiety. Essentially, the athletes experienced higher anxiety when using negative self-talk. Before embarking on the journey of utilizing positive self-talk, it's crucial to recognize the frequency and nature of your negative thoughts. Negative self-talk typically falls into 4 distinct categories. The first is personalizing, where you tend to blame yourself when things go wrong. The second is polarizing, which involves perceiving situations as solely good or bad without acknowledging any middle ground. Next comes magnifying, where your focus narrows solely on the negative aspects, overshadowing anything positive. Lastly, there's catastrophizing, where the anticipation of the worst outcome becomes a recurring pattern. It's possible to identify with one or multiple of these categories. By categorizing your thoughts in this manner, you lay the foundation for actively transforming them into more positive frames. Remember, this process takes time and dedication, requiring consistent practice to truly refine your self-talk and recognize areas where changes are needed. Once you've gained insight into the extent of your negative self-talk and the categories it falls into, it's time to dive deeper into developing your positive self-talk by using the technique called switching gears. This involves taking the negative self-talk you use and reframing it with a positive self-talk alternative. For example, negative thoughts can be, "I completely messed up that project and there's no way to fix it." It can be changed into a positive thought like, "I didn't perform as strongly as I wanted to, but that's all right. This experience has taught me valuable lessons for the future," enabling both personal and professional growth. You've hit the nail on the head. Now that you're aware of the incredible advantages and techniques that can revolutionize your mindset, you're well on your way to transforming your thinking patterns and paving the path toward your aspirations and triumphs. These newfound strategies have the power to work wonders, propelling you toward your goals and unlocking the door to success.